Thank you for visiting my channel today. So I want to do a quick little video here, talk about this Tianjin land collapse. So if you're not familiar, if you haven't seen this story, Tianjin is it's a coastal city in northern China. So basically, Tianjin is basically between Beijing and the ocean. Um, So, things that are manufactured in Beijing, they're going to get shipped to Tianjin to be, shipped internationally. So, yeah, anything that's going to leave Beijing is going to go out of Tianjin. Now, what's going on there? The government has evacuated something like 3,000 people from residential areas from the giant high rises they live in over there. If you've never been over there, it's like you just see these row after row of these giant high-rise apartments, and people live in these like tiny little apartments, and the cities have like every major city there has like tens of millions of people. It's fucking crazy. So anyway, a lot of these high rises have been evacuated because there are these giant cracks in the ground, so like the one on my thumbnail, and it's like these giant cracks in the ground are opening up, and the integrity, the structural integrity of some of these high rises are being compromised, so they're not safe. And this is being blamed on deep caverns under the earth. It's approximated, according to sources, at about 4,200 feet. What the hell's that about? 1,500 meters or so in depth under the earth. They're saying that there are these caverns, and the caverns are, shifting around or collapsing or something like that. And it's being affected on the surface. And again, you've got these fissures, you have these cracks opening up in the streets, and then, the foundations of buildings are being undermined. So this is really interesting. So, from an augury point of view, you know, pretty much everybody at this point, I think, has seen the Lord of the Rings series, and if you think about the third movie, The Return of the King, what they do, you haven't seen it in a while. The free armies of Middle Earth, basically the survivors of from the previous battle, from the armies of Gondor and Rohan, and some other places. They're led by Aragorn. They go to the Black Gate of Mordor. And it's a diversion, it's a distraction to draw the Dark Lord's attention towards, while Frodo and Sam bring the Ring of Power to the volcano Mount Doom that's within Mordor, within the Black Lord's land, in order to destroy it. It's the only place it can be destroyed is in the lava inside this volcano. So what you see in that movie is the armies of the West, of the men of the West, are vastly outnumbered by these armies of orcs, and it looks like they're going to get their asses kicked, and Aragorn's going to get stepped on by a troll or something, and then reluctantly Frodo gets the ring, into the fires, into the lava within the mountain. Him and Gollum fight over it. Gollum falls in with the ring. And that saves the day. And when the ring's destroyed, the Dark Lord collapses. He can't maintain a presence in the 3D anymore. So his physical presence breaks down. And the land underneath the orcs basically starts collapsing. So these giant fissures, these chasms open up under their feet, and they fall in. So, because they were being used in a war of aggression and they had nothing to stand on. It's highly symbolic. So this is interesting with China having this happen. Now, the reality of it, I think, is Everywhere around the world, you have these DUMBs, these deep underground military bases. And, there are machines that are very good at drilling tunnels. Now, on top of this, the Earth is extremely cavernous. So this is one of the ways that the conspiracy, QAnon, whoever's, this is one of the ways they worship deep state. Is they're like, oh, they dig these giant underground military bases. Oh, they're so powerful, and oh, they're gonna get me and install the Neuralink in me. Well, with these dumbs, with these deep underground military bases, the way the sites are chosen is the natural caverns in the earth are found. The earth just has fucking cavities in it. It's like your body. It's like, near your sinus cavity, you just have these spaces inside your head that are filled with air. So, the earth is very much like this. When you go over to Europe, a lot of the like castles and sacred sites and megaliths, they're connected by tunnels underground. Some of these tunnels go for dozens of miles. So, these are tunnels that water has dug through the earth. It's not that ancient aliens did it. It's that the earth naturally has fucking caverns in it. So but on top of that, yes, there are drilling technologies where these spaces can be expanded and altered and all that shit. And, knowing the Chinese government and the corporations that do business over there, the Western corporations and the Chinese corporations that do business over there, they're playing around with this stuff. And, they probably have these dumbs under every single city. And, the over in China, they're playing with a lot of fire. They've admitted that biotech companies have been producing chimeras, splicing the DNA of different species. We know that they do gain of function research over there, and things escape from the lab. Need I say more? So they're screwing around with these dumbs. So there's a damn good chance that this is part of why they're having these land collapses and these fissures in the streets and these buildings are being undermined. But looking at the symbolic value of it, it's like the Chinese cities are. I mean, really, any city is kind of a crime against nature. But the Chinese ones, I mean, you Google a skyline of any Chinese city, and it's like smog is an understatement. Like the air is just disgusting. If you go over there, you have like gray snots coming out of your nose for like a week or more. It's foul. So, the Earth is gonna have something to say about what they're doing because the way they treat the environment, it's like what we were doing here, say during the 1960s here in America, when pollution was at its worst, it's nothing compared to what's going on in China. So it's interesting this is happening. It's like, the earth is like opening up underneath their feet basically. So we'll see what happens with this. This might be the extent of it, or they might have some crazy event like this if they keep fucking around with the dumbs, with the deep underground military bases. So, yeah, who knows? That's pretty much all I wanted to say about that. But every society has answering to do it at some point or another. When it's China's turn, it's gonna be pretty bad. They're gonna have some environmental disaster, population collapse. I don't know, but it's gonna be rough for them when the time comes. All right. See you later.